Thank you very much, Sandeep. First of all, I would like to begin congratulating the ISB, the Indian School of Business Hyderabad, for organizing this very useful, very insightful dialogue despite all the challenges. It's not easy to do this in the current context of the pandemic, where you run into all kinds of challenges, but I would like to heartily congratulate everybody at the ISB and also our colleagues and our friends from the technology domain for making this possible. ISB is not only a center of excellence, but also personally for me, it's my alma mater. I'd undergone my mid-career training about 4 years ago. I would very fondly recall that the training inputs that we received were absolutely top-notch, world-class, and the kind of interactions that we could have with the finest faculty members was truly useful. We had, in course of today, we had very useful, although 4 sessions, much curtailed because of the virtual manner that we are organizing. We began with beginning with, for example, Honorable External Affairs Minister's inaugural keynote, that he set the context that we don't want in the government that the diplomatic policy is made only from the capital, only from the bureaucratic government confines. So that sets the stage that we would like to make it inclusive through dialogue outside the capital. And Hyderabad is a very appropriate location. I'm very glad that this 3rd edition is happening today. And in the context of the pandemic, where Hyderabad is emerging as the pharmacy capital of the world, thanks to very timely scaling up of operations, distinguished panelists Sangeeta Reddy and others had underlined that we produce almost 2/3 of vaccines of the world, and we greatly contribute to make vaccines affordable for large populations across the globe. So Hyderabad is very apt location. Not only that Hyderabad is a pharmaceutical capital, but also it has enabled this year, during the context of the pandemic, for India to emerge as a net healthcare provider. Honorable Minister Puri has also mentioned that during this last 1 year, we have been able to share our developmental experience, dispatch medical missions, and also dispatch pharmaceutical supplies to about 150 countries, and almost 2/3 of them as grant. As External Affairs Minister has put it, the present context is that we should be confident at home and cooperative abroad. So that is the context that we set upon. And when we look around, we also have great many opportunities on the international stage. Come 1st January 2021, India will be sitting on the United Nations Security Council. That gives us, one more opportunity to shape the global agenda, the discussions as to how the world can develop in a more equitable, more inclusive, more sustained manner. And also already India is the chair for the WHO, World Health Organization Executive Board. It's very providential that India assumes this important chairmanship during the pandemic. And we are also shortly going to assume the chairmanship of G20, Shanghai Cooperative Organization, and BRICS summits. So all these provide us enough opportunities to realize our age-old philosophy, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, that we envision the world as but one single family for all of us to closely cooperate. And the pandemic has just underlined that need. In course of today, we have discussed very many ideas, very useful insights. For example, that manufacturing needs to be scaled up, and services where we already, for example, in information technology and IT-enabled services market, we're already about 40% of the global market, and digitization. So in these, how to go about converting the present context of crisis into an opportunity to leapfrog. Distinguished panelists have put it that trust is going to be the new currency. In the place of formal free trade agreements, now we're going to see more and more global value chains. In global value chains, trust is going to be the currency. Say how trustworthy we are when compared to our nearest competitor. That's going to determine our place in being globally competitive in trade. And speakers have highlighted important points like female participation in labor force and enhancing productivity of the economy and reducing the time and cost delays of infrastructure projects. So why I'm enlisting some of these points are, as a government functionary, we would be more interested that this dialogue, which has put together both the academia, industry, and the policymakers together, can actually help develop policy inputs to modify and give proper direction in a manner that enhances the national interest. So wherever there is the intersection between international diplomatic functioning and the economy, we'd be very happy to collect inputs emerging from today's dialogue. I would request the ISB to help us in that direction. Already, Mr. Munjal has given a very practical suggestion that they would like to develop a Center of Excellence for Business and Diplomacy. I would like to take it on hand and process the idea so that in the 20th year of ISB, we can closely collaborate in this one more major milestone. And I would like to most sincerely thank, beginning with External Affairs Minister Jaishankar, for setting the tone for the dialogue, and also Mr. Hardeep Puri Saab, both my distinguished colleagues, and Ambassador Shyam Saran and various other panelists. I would like to apologize that I was a little under the weather, that I couldn't go to office today, that I don't sport the standee that all my other distinguished panelists have. But thank you very much for bearing with me. And I would like to most sincerely thank all my colleagues at the ISB, Sandeep and Guru, and my colleagues at the States Division. When I could not, for the last few hours, could not take part, they have shouldered greater responsibility. We look forward to the next dialogue, hopefully that it shall be in physical form, which is more lively and more interactive, more dialogue way. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Thank you for the attention.